Hey everyone, it's Admiral Prince Eric here, and welcome back to my on World of Warships. Now, in today's episode, by the way, folks, I'm going to make an announcement for that. So, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a little bit trickier, but because of that, tomorrow is gonna be a Valentine's Day soon. Ever forward, but I'm staying in the single. But I just wanted to make for that this year for 27th birthday was on a little date, a date for my date towards other girls. So please let me know for that. And before we like to begin for that about the discussions of the Waterline 2025 this year, so I'm pretty obvious to be see some excitements about the new contents on World of Warships so far since the update 14.1 has been launched. Okay, so let's get dive to it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon. Alright, so let's head on the news. Oh, by the way, so which is going to be another updated for the update, the close update 40.2 so far in the additional one. So let me discuss on it further. Okay, so the Bismarck, the battleship, the Defiant War, that means it's gonna be on his birthday. So I decided to take on the obtain missions in order to get through it. Okay, so here we are on this announcement, the Waterline, the first half of 2025. There are a lot of these contents right now in the first quarter of 2025 so far. So I'm sure they enjoy for that. But in some cases accordingly in the OverLordBou's video, there is something a backlash though. I would never lay out the comments on the video though. So let's get started about in this detail. Okay, so let's gonna read. Captains, it's time to take a look at what's coming to World of Warships in 2025. We're excited to share our plans and goals for the year. Here's a quick overview on what was discussed. Watch the full video for more details. Okay, so here we are something the list. We got classified documents, tech tweet ships, the upcoming, convoy operations, event pass, future plans, operations with flagships, changes to aircraft carriers and AA, mastery badges and marks of excellence, historical contents, respawn event, experimental ships, customization and collaborations. Things are gonna get look forward to it, guys. So I'm gonna get exciting, but before we can do that, it's my privilege for that. I'm playing 5 years of World of Warships so far since in 2020. Okay, so let's get started in this full of these articles. Okay, so now let's dive into our goals for this year. Some add new types of mechanics and ships, as well as provide more ways to play the ships you already have. Work on evolving the PvP aspect of World of Warships and expand the PvE content. Put more focus on historical and navy based contents, and some implement changes to aircraft carrier and AA mechanics. Okay, we're on a new approach. Over the years, we added numerous mechanics to diversify gameplay, but this has made the game increasingly complex, challenging both new and experienced players. We plan to be more selective with new ships and mechanics, aiming to avoid making the game harder. The idea is to introduce time-limited content that will evolve over several updates before being removed. This allows us to rotate mechanics and remove those that don't pass the test of time. If any prove popular, we may bring them back. These additions will complement, not detract from, the core gameplay, offering an extra layer of quality content. Okay, the first wave of limited content will arrive in the next update and will stay until they release the future updates, the 40.7 update. Okay, so first up, the classified documents. It is gonna be a new interesting for this. So the last year though, we have something to tell about for the Operation Overlord though. It was so much amazing. But the top secret documents is gonna be the most example for this. Now, which is going to be coming soon for the next update. Okay, so let's begin about this. So the classified documents was first introduced in D-Day operations in the previous year, are making a return as a tool to enhance your ship and add depth charges to the gameplay. Key difference is that they will now be available in regular game modes, initially in random battles and operations with flagships, and later in clan battles. You have immediate access to the full list of documents, with their bonuses being personal and non-stackable. In random battles, classified documents can be equipped at the start of the battle, and they provide against specific ships, allowing you to target and weaken particular threats. Now, in clan battles though, documents will function similarly, but you choose them in the port instead, allowing a sort of mind game against the opposing clan. In operations with flagships, classified documents have a different application and can be even upgraded. Okay, so this is gonna be the classified documents are gonna introduce in the sometimes code for the future updates. So, in random battles though, there are some bonuses against specific ships, tier 8 to 10 ships including super ships, equipped at the start of the battle that can be upgraded is occupied in the third slots available. Now, for operations with flagships, now you might know about the operations with flagships, which I really did tested back in the previous update. Now, for the 14.2 though, it's gonna bonuses against specific ship types. There will be a tier 9 to 10 ships equipped at the start of the battle, upgradable starting from update 14.3, and one slot will be available. Now for clan battles in season 30, there will be bonuses against specific ships, tier 10 ships and super ships, equipped with port, can't be upgraded, and 2 slots available. So interesting enough, the classified documents would be a perfect similarity from the D-Day operations, but I would like to say we're gonna try out in these new ones. So keep it updated, and I will show you about my gameplay though in the simulation for the classified documents. Here are the screenshots ever so far, but similarly on contrast for the D-Day operations. The next stop, operations with flagships. Due to strong interest in last year's D-Day operations and Star Trek events, we're bringing more PvE content with a new iteration of operations with flagships. In each operation, you face 3 flagships, 2 identical and 1 with a unique vulnerability type. You can use classified documents to counter them, as they provide bonuses against specific ships types and weaponry, affecting both flagships and regular boss. In 14.3, the difficulty will increase with new abilities for the flagships, giving you a reason to upgrade your classified documents for better bonuses. You can earn the currency for upgrades through combat missions. Finally, the experimental ships. Yeah, I really saw about the experimental ships, but it was introduced for still currently in development for a super testing so far. But I will shoot for that in one of the future updates. So stay tuned, I will going to make my recording about these experimental ships. Now, experimental ships will be available until the end of update 40.6. They can participate in all battle types and may receive balance changes. With the release of update 40.7, they will be removed from players' accounts. The first 3 ships are the French tier 8 cruiser Metz, Soviet tier 9 cruiser Vyazma, and American tier 10 battleship Oregon. Their key features are outlined here and here. Oh my god. Some say for that this is gonna be a ship with some kind of experimentals. Usually it's gonna be for a new ability might to do so. Now, a second batch will include US tier 8 heavy cruiser Protector, Japanese tier 9 battleship Hotaka, and Italian tier 10 heavy cruiser Varese. These ships will retain the fight or flight and limited stock shells features while focusing on secondary armament that becomes more powerful as their HP decreases. You can unlock these ships using credits and a special currency earned through dedicated missions. Progressing in the event will reward you with customization and commemorative items. More information on the rewards will be shared later. So, if you wanted to check out in the latest dev blogs, so I'm sure gonna need to discuss about this. Here are a new iterations which is going to be an upcoming video recording. Some of this is gonna be an experimental ship, but date's gonna get looking forward. I wanna try out to do so whatever they most. Okay, for the regular contents which is gonna be will be the first and the second quarter of 2025. First up, the Tet 3 ships. A new line of American destroyer is planned in this year. Some Tier 7 Hugchis, Tier 8 Osborne, Tier 9 Christopher, and a top tier Boros. These ships will have both high damage output and rate of fire, as well as a unique smoke mechanic. We can't talk about that just yet. As for their disadvantages, the ships will have large holes and rather subpar concealment. Okay, so technically there will be another Tet 3 ship, this time for the American destroyers, known in the historically as Destroyer Escorts, the DE as what it is for example. Starting from Tier 6 Farragut, you may start it off for the Hudges and directly up to the top tier Boros. Also for that, we can drop a hint about another line. You can spend some new large cruisers on the Tet 3 in the future. Okay, this is gonna be a chance, since the French large cruiser was introduced in the 2022. But I hope something for the nation's thought for a large cruiser Tet 3 will be gonna explain for that in the future. So I will check it out for something World of Warships Dead Bloods, and I will explain to it immediately. Okay, the next one changes the anti-aircraft carriers in AA. Now, we haven't forgotten about changes to aircraft carriers in AA. After the testing of the concept last summer, we were pleased with the results but identified the need for balancing, UI improvements, and mode polishing. Based on the feedbacks, we'll make adjustments and are ready for the next page. Aircrafts will have 3 modes: the travel, attack, and recon. The goal is to improve the play experience, as the first iteration wasn't intuitive enough. Here are some changes compared to the previous test. The recon mode is which allows you to set and spot enemies. It's going to be simpler and more immersive. Defensive AA fire will no longer prevent planes from spotting. A change made after player feedback showed the mechanic was too complicated. Priority sector will now cover 360 degrees around the ship and buff AA damage. A new AA consumable is in the works, with details to be revealed later. It will be clearer which planes are dangerous and which are not. The speedometer will return. Aircraft carriers will still be able to use the secondaries as main guns where not controlling the aircraft, and fighters and patrol fighters will no longer be able to spot ships. Additionally, some commander skills for aircraft carriers will also be reworked. We're also considering a mechanic that provides a small chance to dodge AA fire, allowing you to deal some damage even against strong defenses. AA bubbles will also receive improvements. If you haven't tried the new mechanics yet, now's the time, as we plan to release them in this year. Stay tuned for more updates on our website. So let's see, it's gonna be a new CV gameplay changes though. Now, even if I might recognize this about the CV gameplay though takes place in early 2019. Now, for a new CV gameplay iteration is about, and usually it's gonna be the travel, attack, and recon. But we're gonna try it out for one of my future recordings. Okay, so the respawn event, a new event is coming in the update 14.3 where you can respawn after your ship is sunk. A timer will appear, and once it hits 0, your ship will reappear on the map. There's no limit to how many times you can respawn. Okay, this is gonna be a new interesting forward. Now for convoy operations, in update 14.4, we're giving convoys a new twist. You'll be able to play them as operations across convoy maps. The primary tasks will remain the same, but secondary tasks will be random to add variety, similar to D-Day and Star Trek operations. Eventually, standard operations will receive similar updates to their secondary tasks. Now, the next one is the mastery badges and marks of excellence. However, this is gonna be way similar for World of Tanks though. Usually they might want it to might decorate it over the tank barrel gun. Now for World of Warships though, the first mastery badges and later marks of excellence will be added to the game. If you played other wargaming titles such as the recognized is the World of Tanks, you might be quite familiar with them, but for those who aren't, they are similar to achievements. To earn mastery badges, you need to achieve more base HP in a single random battle than the average HP of other players in the same ship within a set period. Also, marks of excellence are earned by consistently achieving exceptional results in the same ship across multiple battles. For customization is, after the positive feedback for enemy destruction events last year, we plan to add more of them. Additionally, new customization options are in development for future. For the event pass, we've been refining the event pass, and we plan a major overhaul this year. The focus will shift to medium to long-term goals, with the event pass lasting 2 to 3 updates and being more accessible for casual players. Okay, this is gonna be a look interesting. Now for historical contents, we received great feedback from historical enthusiasts, especially about events like the Battle of Java Sea and the Battle of Leyte Gulf, so we're bringing more of them. An adventure dedicated to the Battle of Narvik and Dunkirk is in development and will span 2 updates, the 14.3 and 14.4. To commemorate Dunkirk, we're also adding a small-scale event introducing a new type of PvE gameplay outside of regular battles. We're also celebrating the anniversary of Operation Tango with a new collection, 2 historical commandos, and other thematic items. Now, for 2 dockyards will feature historical ships, including a German Tier 9 heavy cruiser Blucher. Additionally, 2 past dockyard ships are returning. Some of these, the Dutch light cruiser Dismay at Tier 8, which was featured in 2021 along the Dutch cruisers on early access, and for a German destroyer Tier 9 CFCs later on. So my goal was to taking care for something that I would like to take and remember. So we're gonna get the premium light cruiser Dismay that was never completed for back then in the docket event on 2021. But I would like to take the chance to make it shine in the ship. Also for that though, the save seats, if I recognize about the ship, was on in 2021 along the German destroyers in early access. Now, save seats that was in historical purpose originated as a member of the Lehardy class destroyer that was named L-Optimatre. After the France was defeated by the Germans though, the hull was never completed and it was intended to capture by Germans to be renamed as save seats. So save seats is a German destroyer though, is gonna be the only destroyer has a main battery reel booster for some time, making more crushing against enemy destroyers and even cruisers in the standards. So I would like to get, for my priority was to get this ship later on in the future. But of course, the upcoming ship Blucher, that will be for my 27th birthday in the future, in the future days. So leave down the comments right now, so which gonna be a docket event we'll have to look on. But my priority was for our top tiers. Okay, for collaborations, while 2025 will focusing mainly on historical content, there will still be room for collaborations. We don't plan to introduce new IPs to World of Warships, but you can expect to see plenty of familiar and beloved titles. Finally, the future plans. Okay, some future plans will be coming directly from the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th quarter of 2025. Now, here are some things we'd like to do in the future, but no specific timeline is set to be yet. We haven't forgotten about them. We were aware that you would like a new map, and it is on our to-do list for the end of 2025 and early 2026, but we want to rebalance some high-tier maps first. We're considering introducing operations for low-tier ships as a sort of tutorial. These will take place on small maps and use shortened versions of existing operations, making player progression smoother and preparing them for future battles. It also gives PvE players a way to start the journey directly in this mode. Low tier ships will receive quality of life balance changes to represent their respective branches better. We would like to experiment with brawls by introducing modifiers that affect ship parameters, rather than just restricting by tier and ship type. For example, destroyers could get a buff to torpedo damage, while battleship might have passive HP recovery. Last but not least, as mentioned earlier, we want to give you more opportunities to play your ships you already have, The same applies to commanders. Introducing unique commanders to operations is something we're exploring, but details are not available yet. That's all for now. Be sure to follow the news for more updates. Okay, so any questions about the Waterline first half of 2025? I hope you enjoy for that. Okay, back in the day when I watched on the OverLordBou in this video for the Waterline 2025, but something strange for that. It is something called about an OverLordBou is a backlash. An OverLordBou did say about the backlash so far, but I don't really want to suggest it. But other cases for that, some players will be transferred to be played on Me Collably or World of Warships RU server. So I don't want it to play in on with, but I'm sure I have to stay in this World of Warships for that in the English server. But I'm still on the Asia server at the time. Okay, so let's get topic for the next one. Now, accordingly, for the closed test 14.2 update, we got experimental ships, classified documents, and return to operations with flagships. Now, as I similar for that in the Waterline 2025. So, anyways, let's get started in this new itineration for the upcoming public test 14.2 take place. Okay, greetings captains. In this step blog we're excited to share some details about new ships, mechanics and features coming to our game in the time ahead. We work hard to continue bringing you and unique content to our players, but we are also aware of a mounting complexity brought about by the sheer amount of content accumulated in our games over the years, which can sometimes make it difficult to keep up. Starting with update 14.2 and until release of update 14.7, we'll be trying a new approach. Time limited content which will be available for several updates, gradually evolving it is finally removed from the game. Time limited content will have the same quality as the other features we are introducing to the game and will undergo equally through testing. It will allow us to introduce new features to the game while avoiding the risk of making it too complicated in the long run, and allow us to safely remove features that don't work out. Content that is well received by our community, however, will of course be considered for re-implementation in the future. This way, we can reach and add new depth to gameplay without interfering with its core. With that said, here's what we have to store. First up, experimental ships. These features are unique gameplay concepts, will be available for several updates and can be unlocked by completing special tasks. Next, classified documents. These were first introduced in the D-Day operations last year of 2024 and offer a new way to strengthen your ships. Finally, operations with flagships are returning for round 2 and we're excited to see how players will tackle the challenge. Now for experimental ships, as I saw for that in the Waterline 2025. In November, we announced Mets, Yasma and Oregon. These ships are subject to a new gameplay concept which is geared towards captains that prefer aggressive play and can make full use of their special features. Starting each battle with a health pool depleted to below half, these ships gain significant buffs to the main battery performance based on lost hit points. At closer ranges, they have an ace up the sleeve, a limited stock of improved ammunition delivered via the burst fire mechanic, trading main battery fire range, and significantly improved armor piercing shells. You can find some more details on the concept in this latest deck blog post. Please be advised that these ships will have no module to research, that the economy earning will be similar to Tetris to the Nintendo Switch 2, and you will be able to change commanders for these ships without the need to retrain them. We are ready to bring these ships in the game already update 14.2. Here's how to get your hands on them. Since these ships are primarily meant for seasoned players, first of all you need to gain a special access by either completing a special combat mission for tier 9 ships or spending free XP in the top tier. After that, you'll be able to work towards unlocking the ships by completing special missions. These missions will bring you a new currency called Action Reports. You use these together with credits to obtain. Collecting ship components will allow you to unlock the ships themselves. The specific number of components needed will depend on the ship. The ships have to be unlocked in order from tier 8 to 10. Once obtained, you'll be able to break these ships into all battle types. They'll be available for the duration of several updates. Okay, the ships to be unlocked in order from tier 8 to 10. Once obtained, you'll be able to bring these ships into all battle types. They'll be available for the duration of several updates and will be removed with the release of update 14.7. There will be a special mission chain that can be completed only experimental ships and will reward you with a coin. After the removal, commemorative rewards will be given to all players who unlock all the ships. Lastly, please be advised that balance changes may be applied to these ships in the future. All of these principles also apply to a second set of experimental ships announced in the blog post, which will be added to the game several updates later. The next one is the classified documents. If you play D-Day operations in the update 30.4 or 20.5, this mechanic will be familiar to you. But if not, here's a refresher. Classified documents are selectable at the start of the battle and improve your ship's performance against specific enemies. After the start of the match, the game will update Haruroka. Sorry, I'm still wanted to go sleep. After the start of the match, the game will choose suitable ones for you and you have a limited time to change the selection if you wish to do so. Now, in update 14.2, we'll be returning this mechanic to two modes, random battles and operations with flagships. Note that unlike D-Day operations, other players were okay, so operations with flagships, this is gonna be a way similar for the previous update. Classified documents in this mode will make your ship stronger against ships of the certain class and buff certain types of damage as well as defense against that particular class. You will be able to pick one classified document in operations and flagships, so be sure to pick the one most impactful for your playstyle. In total, 9 different classified documents will be available. You can find the effects for each one in the table below. Okay, some classified documents for operations with flagships. Okay, as you can see for that, there will be a sometime called damage parameters. So if you want, might check it out on the dev blog, link in the description below. Note that these buffs apply to all enemy ships in operations and Hodges. Now the next one, the random battles. In random battles, classified documents will buff your ship against a specific enemy ship. Documents only affect the interaction between you and the chosen adversary, granting the ship bonuses to make it more effective against the opponent. Let's for example assume that you want to strengthen your ship against Des Moines. Okay, so random battles for classified documents is a much way for that similar, but I would like to go forward to it. We are also planning to add classified documents in the 30th season clan battles, which will start in one of the future updates. In this mode, there will be fewer slots consumable. Okay, so we're excited to bring you these improvements, and in update 14.3, we're planning to implement even more. We plan to give flagships additional impactful abilities which make battles more varied and engaging while classified documents. If upgraded and properly chosen, will help you to even the odds to take down the powerful enemies and even fleets. Okay, so please note that all information in the development block is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may change multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game's website. Okay, at the end of the video, so I would like to tell you about this. So tomorrow I'm gonna start right now for participation on the public test server. So work in progress update 14.2. So the first round will begin on today about 11 p.m. until on the next week of February 18 at 3:30 p.m. So anyways guys, so I'm gonna participate for tomorrow in the public test session. So we're gonna get recorded at the time for Warships Wednesday. Now, I'm doing further to on to that, we gotta make something ever useful. Because my birthday is approaching for our 1 month and 10 days. So I hope you enjoy. I will see you guys in my participation of public test for a recording in the top tiers. So I hope you guys enjoy about my video though, so please don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell notification icon. Oh, by the way, before my end of the video though, I just went on hugging for the Jollibee stabs, and especially that is gonna be a few more exciting interested. But I'm about to be on the 5 years in this game at the time, and I'll be time consuming for that is Labada. So gonna wait for that is very crucial. So I don't ignore for that. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna sleep right now, and that's about my Warships Wednesday for that in this video so far about the Waterline 2025 as well as the close test 14.2. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell notification icon. So I hope you guys see you in my next video. Peace out guys.